welcome back. A recap of some description. So, you've had quite an arduous journey. Some poor fortune on the travelling, on the survival checks and so forth, has led to a more arduous journey than you were expecting. Your journey, after you decided to vacate the ship you were travelling on that was heading north, to cross overland for a time being, as the ship you were travelling on had suffered significant damage at sea and was stopping for a period of time for repairs. You elected to travel overland to reach the Orc city of Greninvik, and aim to get there slightly ahead of the ship, which you were expecting to arrive a couple of days after you. We rejoin the action quite literally in the heat of battle, as your evening campfire had been disturbed by a number of goblins riding on the back of wolves had attacked you. You have dispatched most of their number, but there's still a trailing few left. Also, your own goblin friend Smeek, who gets on varyingly well with different members of the party, was, I believe, told to run or to hide at some point at the start of the combat by someone, and so has subsequently disappeared.
I told him to hide in the tree.
Indeed. Okay, and so we rejoin the action with Arwen being first.
Okay. I still have Hunter's Mark on, don't I? Yeah.
It's entirely probable.
That is exciting.
Do you remember which target has it?
Well, I think I'd just killed something, so I'd moved it onto this one.
Let's go with the blue one. It's the closest one to you.
So, yeah. I think I'd just killed something, so I have... yeah. I will shoot it. Kaboom.
That's a hit.
Yay! Kaboom. Kaboom. Sploosh.
Yes, now we checked this, and you don't currently get the Colossus Slayer because it is currently at its maximum HP.
Oh, okay.
So it only takes 11 damage, not 15.
Ugh. Stupid goblin. Why'd you have to be healthy?
I know. But you have got a second attack, so...
Yeah.
That is also a hit.
Oh.
This is a good opportunity to talk about some new crit rules that I'm thinking of. Where when you roll a crit, you also roll a d8 to get an additional effect to your attack. I did like the additional damage we were dealing out, but I felt it was a little bit too strong. In this instance...
Oh, wait. Did it already do it?
Yeah, so that's already done the additional crit damage, as if it were a normal crit. So you still get the crit damage, but I'm thinking I like the idea of having an additional effect.
So another d8.
So you roll 1d8 and you would get an additional effect off this table. However, it doesn't matter because you have killed the goblin.
Nice. That's good. Bye bye. Ha ha ha, not so healthy anymore.
No, indeed.
I'm gonna also move ever so slightly. There.
Okay. Is that everything on your turn? Okay. Next up is Sticks in initiative.
Excellent. Now, can you tell me, the goblin... Hold on. That's clarity. Where's me? There's me. Okay. Here's... Oh, I don't know any... Second level spells! I'm going to be very honest with you. I have 2 HP.
Okay.
But I have no... Where did all my lay on hands go? What did I do?
You gave it auto time.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I? Oh, that wasn't
Yeah,
very
you
smart.
did give all your lay on hands to a giant.
Actually, I stand by that, personally. But there we go.
I mean, yeah, it cost you 25 lay on hands points, but you didn't antagonize or provoke the giant, so
This is true.
6 and 2, 3.
So the goblins next to me, do either of them look more hurt than another?
Make a quick perception check for me.
Here. 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 Oh, 0.
Your own injuries are too prevalent for you to pick up potentially on whether one is more injured than the other.
Well, JJ, that's really interesting. Because what am? Shit!
Which one are you hitting?
I'm hitting the one below me.
The green one?
Yes.
That hits. You get a 19
Oh,
because you have
yes!
flanking.
Oh, yes, I completely forgot everything about D&D. Well, bam, one-handed, because I got my shield out.
Okay.
The 9. I could slap a divine smite on that so easily. It's nighttime now, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, so I would know that in the morning I would like have all my stuff back, but also, what else comes out in the night? You know what? No, I don't want to die.
So,
That's max damage.
God damn.
I'm glad I did that.
You're not going to be glad when I tell you how much HP it had before you did that.
No, don't. Just let me have this. Let me have this.
It had 15!
It had exactly 25 hit points, JJ. And I took them all away.
You do indeed take away all its remaining hit points. This decisive
Now I'm going to be
cut
12.
coming in with the last reserves of your strength, delivering this coup de grace to this poor goblin that had so recently leapt off its dying mount. Found itself between you and Clary, and yes, been in quite the difficult shape.
What is my role?
Unfortunately, yes, turning around from your victorious kill, you flagging a little bit, shall we say, low energy and strength, you don't quite manage to land the blow on the final goblin enemy.
Well, no.
Is that the end of your turn?
I don't know.
movement and your bonus action.
Yeah. It's that friggin'.
Maybe you should run away.
Yeah, maybe I should, but I can't run away because I don't have any way to run away without being potentially hit.
I mean, you could
Although my AD is 18 now, or 17 now, which is pretty decent. I don't know what it is actually. Yeah, 17 now, which is pretty good.
Oh.
No, I'm just gonna help my boy Neo out. Give him a bit of flanking, and I will end my go there.
I was going to go to back home on the way.
Oh well, it's really awkward, isn't it?
I'm going to make a quick second check for the goblin. You see, you recognise how many you are. Nope. So he doesn't really know. So he is. Seeing as he's the last one, is going to disengage and just start running for a turn. Yeah, and then dash is an action, so he's going to be full on sprinting away.
Love it.
And then we go to Clary.
Is he like gone, or is he just in that?
He is actually in that square, I think.
Oh, okay.
He's a little bit further than that, but.
How does dashing work? So I've got dash as a bonus action, I think.
Yeah, so you can use your bonus action to dash, meaning you can move your movement speed again.
Oh, okay. What was Kyle's movement speed again?
I believe your movement speed is 40 feet.
40, yeah. I might not even need dash. Okay. And I can't walk on that trunk bit, can I?
No, the brown circle represents the trunk of the tree, everywhere else is just the canopy above, so you can move freely through that.
Can I walk over the dead enemies, or do I have to go around them?
No, you can walk over them. They're in no position to impede you.
I can't see the squares here. Guess 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 takes me there. Oh, I could just hit it with that.
Let's go that one and then Clary.
Yeah, it's too many buttons. I can't sneak attack because no one's near it, so.
No, you can't.
Okay, I'm gonna attack with a firebolt. Oh, am I too close to use a firebolt? Would I be damaged?
No, not within. You don't have any within 5 feet. You're within that range, so you can use firebolt regularly. 13. Unfortunately, this little goblin's quite a small target, moving quite easily, and the 13 of the firebolt doesn't manage to hit.
I don't think there's anything else I can do then. Okay, I end my turn.
Okay. Just remember what Neo's got, because it's been a little while. He does have that, so Neo's gonna just step around the trunk of the tree, reach down and pull out this heavy crossbow he hasn't yet had a chance to wield. And he's gonna roll the hit. That's a natural 18.
Ooh.
Ouch.
I've forgotten how much damage a crossbow does. I think it's 1d10. And that is 6 damage. So you hear this sort of thrum as this He click and throws his crossbow, this heavy crossbow fires. And he sort of staggers half a step, not used to the power of it yet. And you hear this little ah off in the distance. And even in the dark, this crossbow bolt finds its mark. That is all you can do for now. We go back to Arwen.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'll just go here, I guess.
At 23 will hit.
That's nice. That's nice too. Oh, I'll move my hunter's mark to that one.
Okay.
I don't know if I said that, but
And you do in fact get across the size, you deal 20 damage.
is he dead yet?
Yeah.
Yay!
Would you like to describe it?
Well, you know, she's just so good that she doesn't even have to look. She's just pew. She knows it's him. You know, easy peasy.
In the dark, as this arrow finds its mark, followed by a small thud. This fleeing goblin hits the deck.
No one tries to hurt Smeek and gets away with it. I mean, I don't even think they knew he was there, but...
And with that, we can drop initiative.
Hey.
Neo will walk up to Six and slap him on the back and give him significant give him off the ball with his land hand, I suppose, 25 to use Six.
Thank you,
As you're looking
Neo.
pretty rough.
Thank you, sir. No.
Is anyone else looking like they're next to death?
Nope. Just the stinky paladin.
Neo's on half, but he recognises that Six is got some significant wounds that need tending.
Well, does Neo need some then?
Nah, he's at half, he's alright.
Lost him.
Okay. Well, I am going to go up to Neo and just be like, where the hell have you been hiding that? Crossbow, obviously. That's what we're talking about.
He bought it with you before leaving the city of Denderport on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
He's just, so, you know, he was just like, oh, we'll fight on the ship, this will probably be a useful thing.
I remember now. Need to get out more often. Nice. We go back to sleep now.
Everybody.
Yeah, if you want.
Come on, I go out for Smeeg and see where he is.
You want to call out for him?
Let him know it's safe.
Yeah. Roll a persuasion check. Because you're trying to persuade him to come back, I guess. He was terrified of Styx. 7, unfortunately. If I remember correctly, Styx was so terrifying he made Smeek wet himself.
Yes.
Can I try and persuade as well?
If you were going to try, that would give advantage on the roll, so I'll take the 14. As you call out, you get the 14 instead. You call out and you hear this little like scuffing in the oak tree above you, and then sort of between a few branches you look up and you see this big eyes like staring down at you. Just this little goblin-y head is like sticking out from a branch. You can see he's got like a fistful of acorns, and he's got like one like ready. But it seems like that's all he's got, just in case you needed to start like throwing them.
Such a little hero.
Well, ain't that just adorable?
Yeah, it is. Now stop scaring him.
You're not fooling anyone. Yep. Alright, Smeek, come down. I can see I'm popular opinion amongst it.
Neo was just sort of like lean over and whisper in your ear, I think he's harmless.
I mean, yes, but he's a goblin. Just saying. Not that, I have anything against goblins.
To be fair, if he hadn't run out and warned us about the enemies, we would have been attacked without warnings. Because
True.
Harry Clary is really, really bad at keeping watch.
Yeah, Clary has had some unfortunate roles in the keeping watch department on this small section of travel.
Those times Clary was on watch, so...
Yes, there are a number of there's 3 dead wolves and a number of dead goblins surrounding you. Well, bodies, yes, to potentially be dealt with.
Can I see if any of them have any money?
Yeah. Roll an investigation check. You can, if anyone wants to assist, you can roll with advantage.
You help us split whatever money.
I'll not necessarily for money, but I will pilfer through their pockets a little bit, just to help. See what they got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you find sort of the most obvious thing is sort of their oddment of weapons. Any archers can refill their arrows, because they do have a number of arrows amongst them. And then they've got, sort of cheap and rusted looking mixed match of short swords and daggers and stuff like that. Wearing scraps of sort of leather armor and with random bits of sort of scrap sheet metal sort of stitched over it, so it's quite thin, sort of just in odd places where they sort of think it will fit. There's one now you realise maybe was slightly bigger than the others, was possibly in charge. He's got a little bit more than everyone else, but in the darkness wasn't particularly noticeable. You find a little bit of money, but they don't seem to have a lot. Between them, coinage actually seems quite rare, and in the locations where you are finding this, you also just find sort of oddments of shiny stones, a particularly shiny bit of metal or something. It seems like they were more attracted to the shininess and the sort of uniqueness of things than one of them's got a a polished bit of glass and that sort of thing that's got this blue vein running through it, rather than necessarily the monetary value of things. That you can go and add the quantity of about 30 copper and 12 silver pieces.
30 copper, 12 silver. Not terrible.
You also find an amount of sort of food.
Right.
It's low quality, hard dried meats, stuff that would keep a long time. And in a pouch on one of them, you find a number of these small, sort of powdery, baked into little hard, billets or cakes of powder. They're sort of a mossy green colour.
Okay.
If anyone wants to make a medicine check, they can potentially discover a little bit more.
I think I will. That sounds rather interesting. I have +3 in medicine after all. Never mind.
10, it's not terrible. You can take the 12 if, assuming someone would be sort of having a look with you and giving you advantage on the check. You're not certain, but you think these might be medicinal in some way. More of a slow-acting remedy than, something fast in the heat of battle, like a healing spell or a healing potion or something like that. But maybe something to give you a little boost during downtime.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll take some of it. What should I call it? In my inventory, just sort of green powder.
Yeah, like herbal pucks or something like that. Because there's like 3 of them in a really like little like puck form. The powder's been like compressed together.
Pucks.
I'll tell you now. Basically, they have the equivalent of being a greater healing potion. However, they take a minute to administer, as they need to be like crumbled into water to activate and drink.
Like a lemsip.
Yeah. Goblin lemsip.
Like a healing lemsip.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Get a bit of, and you're in.
They don't work in like preparation. So once they hit water, they like start to lose their like potency and stuff. So you can't be like, oh, I'm going to prepare them all now.
Okay. Well, it is now in my inventory as healing lemsip.
Excellent. So yeah, that's about everything that you find.
How many people had kept watch? And how much time is left of night?
I don't remember. I don't think Styx had... No, sorry, I don't think Neo had taken his watch. I think Styx had maybe gone first. I'm not sure.
I think I went first.
I think you took a watch and spent some time with Smeek.
Yeah.
I can't remember whether Clary was second or third.
I feel like she was second,
Let's go with that.
but I don't remember.
Which means there will be about 4 hours left, sort of watches and things until the morn and stuff like that.
So if I kept watch, would Styx be able to get all of his stuff back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keeping watch doesn't stop you from taking a long rest.
Oh, okay.
It's sleep and light activity.
Ah, fair enough.
So it's things like just sitting, keeping watch. You will have to start from now with your 8 hours of rest and light activity because of the attack. So, which is with the injuries and the fast-paced combat. But you can all keep watch and do finally. I know it's been a few days. You do finally get a long rest.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of nights of troubled sleep and things.
Yeah. back up. Let's get that. No, that stays the same. Yeah. That goes back up. No, that's no. I accidentally set my my level 2 spells to -29. I didn't even know how that worked. I like spell debt.
Yes, it's going to take you many nights' sleep to recover all those spells.
Actually, that's a really cool idea.
Spell debt.
Yeah, like, say, you can... I don't know, like, you can use another 3rd level spell slot now, but tomorrow you can't. And also takes up certain money and health. I don't know how much.
Yeah, I think it would be like an overindulgence in, like, absorption of power and stuff like that, and so I think I'd say it's a level of exhaustion as well.
Yeah.
To do, or something like that. Maybe depending on the spell level or something, or maybe, yeah, I think maybe like 1 level of exhaustion.
1 level of exhaustion per level of the spell.
Yeah.
Then I'll only go up to like 6th level, but 6th level stuff pretty gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, if you did a 6th level spell, you'd like do it, and then you'd just die.
It's pretty cool for your character to go though.
It would. It would.
I mean, also
like a cleric doing like a mass cure wounds or something like that, and just expiring on the spot to like heal the party.
Counter spell.
Oh, that would be.
That's truly.
That would be so mean.
Oh man. I read a thing on Reddit once where a guy had basically got this pearl where if he died, the pearl exploded. So it's meant to, like give his sort of paladin a sort of big bright death or whatever. And they were fighting this guy, and basically he was like, okay, we're never going to win this unless one of us does something drastic. So he just runs up to the guy and stabs himself. The pearl explodes, and at that point it is revealed the B-Beg was immune to fire damage.
Oh, that's rough.
That did not sound rough. The entire Reddit thread comments is just laughing and crying. Like,
oh my god.
Anyway, we continue.
We do indeed continue. Continue to sleep. Sleep and rest, and rest and sleep. And you all have lovely dreams.
And rest and sleep.
I don't know. Your dreams are your own business this time. No, there's no DM interference. Not this time. But yes, you awake. You are a little bit achy, a little bit sore, but your wounds are healing. Your energy is revitalized, and you carry on your way. A little bit delayed in your travel and setting up and things, as you had to rest for slightly longer. But you set off once more. During the night, Smeek had once again made his little goblin-y way out into the world. Left you once more.
No.
Just leaving behind a little acorn for Arwen.
I put it in my bag.
She just woke up with a single acorn beside and a little acorn for Clary. And nothing for Neo. He's has no feeling one way or the other towards Neo. But Styx wakes up with a dead mouse next to his head.
What
What the fuck? Not fucking cool, man. I mean, breakfast, but not cool.
It seems he's had his little rebellion just before sneaking away.
Sneaking away.
Very sneak. I will remember it always.
I mean, I think you're even at this point.
Hold on, this little that's not Arlo, right?
No, it's not Arlo.
It's not Arlo. Cool.
No.
That would have been pretty dark.
That would have been really dark.
God. I check my coat for Arlo.
Oh, Arlo is there. Just rustling around in one of your pockets. Sort of
Good.
sticking his little nose out, his little whiskers on his, twitching as he's sniffing the air. He smells breakfast cooking. Hugo is there, sort of has become quite bold of late and is out and about, scampering around.
Aww.
Venturing here, there and everywhere around the camp. At one point he comes back and, like a proud cat, deposits a bird on the ground and proceeds to just start, with his long neck, just like tugging at it and just like pulling bits of little strips of flesh off and chomping them down.
Oh,
They grow up so fast. I'll let him have that while I don't watch.
while I do other things.
Okay. And travel gets underway. Who is leading the way?
I don't mind doing that.
Actually, yeah. Well, we're not in your favorite terrain, are we? So I will lead the way.
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah. I will lead the way.
Alright. Wisdom perception check from you as you lead the group.
This was a bad plan. I'm basing this entirely off AC alone.
No, you're the one in the lead, so you're.
Oh wait, I have a 1 wisdom. Nope, that's Clary. That's Clary.
Oh.
Yep. Perception.
Oh God. Are you sure Clary's not leading it?
Well, that's not much worse. Maybe Clary should lead. Maybe that's a better plan.
But
sorry. On what? I will lead. I came here to lead, not to read.
The day passes quite slowly as you make your way through the final stretch of countryside over these rolling hills and vast plains. Not many trees you encounter. You're reasonably close to the coast, so occasionally when you crest a particularly high hill, you can see it a ways to your right in the distance. It's steely grey-blue, with a number of clouds floating over it. You're not quite close. You've tucked yourself inland, so you're a little bit more sheltered, and it's a little bit warmer without the wind off the coast. So you smell more of the grass and the fields and the flowers and things than you do the salty tang that would be in the air if you were a little bit closer. But every now and again you can see a few seabirds and things rising on air currents over the land. And it is mid-afternoon when you hear the sound of a large number of people cheering and celebrating. And over the course of the next 15-20 minutes, as you get a bit closer, other sounds start to pick up. You can hear the sound of music, you can hear the crowd shouts a little bit more distinctively, it seems. Before finally you push over a hill, and laid out before you, you see the city of Greninvik itself, you can see the city is incredibly narrow, tucked very, very close to the coast itself. Buildings don't venture more than between a quarter to half a mile from the water's edge itself. Everything is, and you can see that they've selected this spot deliberately, or they've artificially adapted the coast so that it forms these deep bays, and there's a number of them curved to effectively lengthen the coastline so they can get more buildings on these curved bays rather than they would a straight coastline. So you can see there's a number of these, 5 or 6 of these deep bays, and they've all got buildings right up to the edge of the water, and huge numbers of ships. And you can see it is one of these large, probably the largest central bay where there seems to be the most activity. You surmise that is where the majority of people are situated. It takes you probably another 20 to 30 minutes of walking to get into the city itself, being so close to the water's edge. And you eventually start to encounter orcs in their natural environment, as it were. There is a great feeling as you start to move about the streets of celebration and jubilation. A large number of coloured pennants and things hang between the houses and throughout the streets. Everything is brightly coloured, and the streets themselves are open. The houses are not, huge. They don't have great towers or anything like that. Everything is constructed out of wood for the most part. There might be a few foundations from stone, but everything seems to be cut from the wood and things like that, which is impressive considering the lack of trees in the area. It could partly be down to the orcs' consumption of wood in their vessels and things, that the area in particular around the city is quite sparse at the moment of natural woodland. And as you make your way through the streets, there are, if you encounter a few orcs in high celebration. Some are noticeably drunk and jubilant. There are, it is an orc city. This is the biggest collection of orcs you would have ever seen anywhere, and they are all in high spirits, walking around. There are, on the outskirts, there are a handful of people, and you're not entirely sure whether it's the celebrations or what have you, but they all are in a significantly different state of dress than orcs when you've encountered them in regular cities. Dress like any other. Here they wear very minimalistic clothing and things like that. Most of them, the few men you see, are walking around in either just shorts or trousers or something like that. Their chests bare. The women are, similarly dressed. They have these seals, these sort of tight. They look like seal skin or something like that. Trousers on, and then they have very small. Again, this you suspect seal or whale skin or something like that tops on. And as you get closer and closer and closer through the city, you start to encounter lots of little stalls and stuff. There's food being sold, things like that. And this great party atmosphere. Indeed, everyone just make me a perception check for me.
Oh, what does it mean? 10. Oh!
Okay, so Clary, you and Neo who are able to guide the party best through to this one central bay. You manage to avoid most of the sort of drunkest and most revelrous groups that have spilled off. There are a number of fights and things like that going on, but you get the impression that these aren't fights to the death. They're not vicious, angry confrontations. They are part of the revels, people challenging each other to feats of strength and things like that. So they have, wrestling competitions, arm wrestles, various games, you seem to think, to challenge each other and effectively depict status within their society. And so and you eventually, following your ears, and this crowd noise, you walk down one of the streets and come out onto the very water's edge itself, and arrayed in a big ring around the coast. There are hundreds and hundreds of small boats parked up and tied up at the coast, and you see they extend all the way around. In fact, even the huge number of them, they form a ring out on the water itself. There's a huge collection of orcs here at this point in time. You get the sense that they only gather like this for this celebration, and you can hear shouts and things like that. There are a couple of boats out in the centre of the water itself, and off in the distance you can see people orcs readying themselves. There seems to be a number of them in the water themselves, and a number of them on the boats, and occasionally one will climb out, and crowds will cheer and things like that. And there is also an announcer whose voice has been magically magnified, is shouting in Orcish. Does anyone speak Orcish?
No.
I don't think I do. No. Speak Goblin.
So unfortunately this is
You don't
currently
speak.
gibberish, but it is...
Yeah, but I wouldn't really speak. I don't think Clary would speak any languages for me.
That makes sense.
I just got here.
I speak 3.
3. You get 3, but it would be from her homeland.
That's fair.
So but you get the... Although you can't understand the words, you get the intonation. This is, an announcer, some sort of commentator or something like that, is, working the crowd, you could say, commentating on events and geeing them up when they go a bit quiet and that sort of thing.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Anyone know how we plan on finding this orc lady? Wait, no, she's not here, is she? She's further up.
Yeah.
Yes, she is indeed further north.
Just waiting for the boat. Okay.
He's still with us, or did he?
He left. What do we want to do here again? We want to get money.
Oh, Clary wanted to find a library.
Clary wanted to find a library.
And
I want breastplate armor.
We need to make money for
Yes.
years.
Can we ask one of these orcs if they can translate what's going on? Because I'd like to know.
Good idea, my gives.
Yeah, and also you are waiting here for
The boat.
ship, for Ivan and the crew and things like that to turn up after they've made repairs. Yeah? Yeah, you can just find anyone, just sort of, tag, grab them off the street. Find a relatively, sort of sober-looking middle-aged man who sort of like seems a little bit surprised. Although a few people have noticed you, they've not really like taken you in, the revels and things like that. He looks a little shocked and like, huh? Starts a little bit when he sees, well, a tiefling, three half-elves, or 2 half-elves and an elf. I'm not quite sure. Sorry, Clary. I really should know what race you are, but anyway.
Chica.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
That wander into their midst. Who? Anyone wants to take the lead? What would you like to say?
Hello.
Good start.
No. You wanted the announcer translated, didn't you?
Oh, I just want to know
What's that announcer guy saying? The really, really loud one. And how do they get their voice really loud?
I want one.
Yeah, that'd be intimidating. That'd be terrifying. It'd be awesome. Shout.
That is one of the. Hello. Sorry. Outsiders are not very. Sorry, forgive me. Outsiders are not very common here. As that is one of our elders, Garth.
God.
He is in charge of most things around here. Yes, he is doing the announcements for the festival. I don't. There's not a word for it. And he's like, he then says a word in Orcish, and it's like, the closest translation would be shark diving wrestling. In common.
Shark diving wrestling? Oh!
That sounds so cool!
Where can I watch this?
It's not the world's best spectator sport, as most of it happens under the water. However, he explains to you, this is what is happening. Everyone is out. And he will show you a necklace around his neck that he's got that has a number of shark's teeth, a variety of shark's teeth on it as well. And he will explain the premise of shark diving to you, which I believe you encountered a little bit of from some of the orc crew on Ivan's ship. But as a refresher, shark diving is one of their biggest feats of strength to show prowess and claim status within their community.
Wasn't it something like one of them had a girlfriend and someone didn't like that they weren't strong, and then he wanted to fight a shark? No, maybe not.
There was a young orc who was on the ship. I believe it was Noah, who I'm not certain of that one though, who was having some perceived romantic troubles, you could recall, yes, and was trying to compose a letter to send.
Yes.
It did briefly come up in conversation there. But yes, it will explain that the number of teeth a person or an orc has, a person has, the more respect they garner. And that days like today are common in all orc settlements where they will have celebrations and everyone gets excited and swept up in the atmosphere, and more people than anyone can go shark diving at any point. It's not like a restricted thing. It's just they make once a year they make a special to do of it, and almost everyone goes out and has a go and things like that. And they have, because it's so dangerous, they make sure they have a number of healers and things on hand when they've got such a mass event. To try and keep the atmosphere high and the casualties low when you're trying to have a celebratory event.
Do they heal the sharks?
A lot of first timers will have, will start their necklaces, he will explain, on a day like today, because it is seen as good luck to do so. And he will also explain it is a day to show off and things like that, and will gesture to a number of you can now see bite marks on his arm and things, and chest and things like that. And this is a day, to show off the impressive scars you have accumulated from these events. Which is sort of seen both ways. It's like, you've got a big scar, so therefore you have survived this thing. But it's also like, you've got a scar, which means you weren't very good at that point. So it cuts a little bit both ways. So
quite literally.
Yeah, so some people are like, see, I have survived all these things, I am big and strong. And some people are like, I have never been bitten, so I am better. So, yeah, and he's very open and forward. Explains it's a day of revelry, a day of excitement, a day to let down one's hair, both literally and metaphorically.
I'm assuming this guy's explaining all this.
Yes.
So, if one were to enter one of these competitions, where would one go? And is there some sort of
the sea? Did you say a prize?
Yeah, we're here looking for money, obviously. It's our friend here, and I'll point to Neo. And would there be a way for a newcomer to come in and earn some money trying this out? Maybe, if they were any good.
He frowns at you and looks down and says, No. You have clearly misunderstood the intention here. There is no money, there is no value. It is not a competition you win other than, staying alive. It is... And he sort of grabs his necklace and holds it as he speaks. These represent one's status and standing. It is not the be all and end all. A man without can still earn his respect another way. We have healers and shipwrights and people who choose not to participate and earn their respect the other way. There is one of the great chiefs has collected many pelts from the frozen shore, and he stands apart in that regard. But no, there is no. It is not a competition you win here.
It's more like a cultural thing than a...
Yeah.
It may be possible for you to take part. Well, you are. The sea is open to all. You can, of course, enter at any time. Some may not like it if you were to take part on a day like today. Others may embrace it and see it as a challenge to outdo you. I am not sure. I could not say whether you could or could not.
Well, don't want to piss anyone off. Thank you. Thank you anyway. Could you tell me, is there like a local jobs board, or like someone who could, any sort of jobs for people such as ourselves who are pretty good at getting rid of problems, or perhaps making
well, the one to speak to would be Garth about that. He will be available to speak to at one point. He will know what is going on, but I dare say, yes, you could find some work. There's been well, let's just say the celebrations are most welcome at the moment. They are providing a distraction for people right now.
That's providing a distraction. Why would people need distracting?
A number of these are mostly rumours. I have not been affected personally. A number of people have reportedly gone missing out in the orchards. There is reports that it is unsafe and we will have to abandon the crop, which would be devastating for our seafaring if we did not have access to a supply of timber.
Interesting. Last time I was on an orchard, I nearly died.
Last time you were anywhere, you nearly died.
That is a good point.
Are you referring to the vineyard?
Oh yeah, vineyard. For some reason, in my mind, they're exactly the same thing.
It's fine. They both make alcohol eventually.
Exactly. That's why in my mind I was like, "Ooh, another orchard."
Why?
Damn it!
Orchards don't.
There's apple trees in it.
Yeah, apple trees to make cider.
Cider.
Not necessarily.
I
Not
thought-
always, but it is where apples come from, and apples do
Yeah,
make cider.
orchards are where you house fruit trees and things like that.
Yeah,
I thought it was
any fruit-bearing tree. Okay, well. Anyway,
We've learned something new.
cool. Cool. Well, if we wanted to help out in something like this, should we talk to this Garth person? Ask them where we can start, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe really quickly. We don't want to disturb him for too long. He looks a bit busy.
Yeah, I think he is. Seems like quite a busy guy.
We could ask where the orchard is,
Yeah, I guess. I guess we don't really need to.
and then just
think
go and
of
have a
this
look.
around. Yeah, sounds good. Good sir, do you know where the orchard is? Do you know? I'm assuming you do.
Yes. But I would. You are right. You should speak to Garth before you get in over your heads. I'm sure you are capable people, but he would have the details about what is going on.
Time to chat to Garth.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Time to chat to Garth.
So you make your way down along the water's edge, boards over the water, the waves swelling up and down, and the roar of the crowd, and eventually you reach a little podium-like place between sort of two sets of stands. And there you can see this incredibly, well, not incredibly old, but older looking, you'd guess like 60s plus, long grey hair tied in a ponytail down his back. And you get close enough to see has numerous scars and things all over his arms and legs. And a very impressive double-stringed necklace of shark's teeth. So most just have a number on a loop that hangs in front of them. He's got effectively two, as he's got this long loop that hangs in front, and then below that is a second loop that hangs down.
I'll whisper to whoever's next to me, I bet he bought them. He didn't actually win them. He just bought them off someone.
Are you trying to whisper that so that your new orc friend doesn't hear?
This is on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Wait, is he coming with us?
Yeah, he was going to walk with you.
Oh dear Lord, no, then I don't say it. I didn't know he was there.
Yeah, he was accompanying you.
Oh, okay.
He feels mildly responsible for you now.
I see.
Oh God.
I guess you're just with us, random orc guy. Cool. Friends.
Yeah. And so after a while, there's a lull in proceedings. Garth gives a few words and seems to hop down. Another slightly younger looking orc takes his place, and his voice starts ringing out, giving calls and things like that. Garth turns around then steps away, picks up a large tankard and starts quaffing several mouthfuls, a little bit parched as well. There's food vendors and various giant barbecues and stuff like that. Seems to be barbecue. They seem to be barbecuing. You can tell a lot of seafood, a lot of fish. The traditional things like pork and beef and stuff like that don't seem to be in abundance here. It's very much different types of smoked fish, clams, mussels, all those sorts of things. But they have this very outdoor festival vibe going on with everything that they're doing. He just wanders over and grabs this a large fish on a stick and starts tearing into it. So it's just
nice.
Stands there with his back to you, just watching things. He's earned himself a break at a time like this.
Hello.
You wander up to turns around this is mouthful of fish and sort of like, seems a little bit surprised to see, you know, non-orcs about. Sort of takes this like ginormous swallow, trying to like clear his mouth quickly, and coughs a little bit. Oh, hello. What can I do for you?
Hi. This is Garth, right? The guy with the coolest name. We have heard that you've been having some trouble down near your orchards, and we would like to offer our services to help out, to be useful in this lovely city of yours.
Well, yes, you have heard correctly. The orchards are where did you hear such a thing?
This guy. I'll point back to the orc dude that was with us.
He sort of like looks the orc behind you, just like, oh no, I've said too much. Like kind of looks down, like looking at his feet, and like goes a little bit sort of pink around the edge of the green as Garth like looks at him and just like casts it quite stern. He's like, it's not supposed to be common knowledge yet. Run along now, Everett. Seems like you have done enough for today.
Bye, Everett. Friend.
Bye, Everett.
Sorry, Garth.
Aw, feel bad.
Do not worry. I will not punish him too harshly.
I hope you won't.
But yes. Well, it seems you know what is going on, but I need to know I can trust a group of effectively strangers who wander in offering help so readily.
We have references.
Here's my CV.
Do you have references?
I mean, if they can contact people, then yes.
Well, then yes, we have some decent references from sitting around. We have faced basilisks, faced many a goblin, giant crab. That was massive crab, biggest crab you've ever seen in your life. We took that down.
We don't have a claw or anything to show for it. Oh.
No, we don't. But I got this bandana and it's full hat.
Oh no! Oh no!
I forgot about Styx's hat.
So would I.
I wouldn't have stuff like this if we weren't seafaring folk. And where do you find crabs? Land, generally. But this was...
He's just sort of like, yes, step over it. And just kind of like gestures and walks you sort of like 20 feet away from like the bulk of the crowd, but it's still like cheering periodically. Sort of step just sort of between two buildings, you get a little bit of privacy, and the buildings like shelter you from the noise of the crowd a little bit. So,
Just thought of something.
Pardon?
The first guy said everyone needed a distraction, but then this guy says that it's not common knowledge yet.
Ooh, it's an inside job.
I'm not sure this is a... that's just... if that's dodgy or...
We'll figure that out later. Okay. Team meeting over. Let's go, Garth. Garth.
What?
You were saying. You were leading us up.
Yes, I do not wish to. Well, enough people have gone missing. It is a constant worry, but the orchards are part of our livelihood. We live on the sea. The sea is our home. It is our life. But without the orchards, we cannot build ships. We cannot we cannot sail. We cannot farm the sea like we do. And yes, it is common knowledge that a number of people, we have been keeping the number low and lying. I have been lying to my people, which is not something easy for me to do. I cannot lie. At least not like the average man can. But yes, we have managed to keep, for the most part, the knowledge that it is the orchards themselves that are threatened a secret.
Okay.
Something has infected them, is stalking through them, and we cannot access the mighty pines we need to build our ships.
Any idea what it could be? They're magical in a sense?
I have no idea. I have not been. I have only seen the blood and bones of those who were taken, what was left of them.
Anyone else think this guy's a terrible leader? Because I didn't go and have a look. Why would I look? Ew, I don't want to be taken.
We're going to go there. It's going to be absolutely fine. It's just working. They're really lazy and they wanted a day off. So like, oh no, there's something here. We can't do the story. I'm an asshole and I know it.
I think it's time to get us some pines.
Yes.
Is this the case then where people are going in and then never coming out, or is there anyone that's like may have seen something and lived?
It is the former, I'm afraid. We've had to stop sending crews there and vow everyone to silence. It seems that some people, Everett, cannot keep their lips shut.
Yeah, but if you didn't, then we wouldn't be here and it would still be a problem that we're about to solve. You're welcome in advance, by the way.
He just sort of looks at you and just sort of stares at you for a little bit, and then he just sort of like bursts out with like bark like laugh. He's like, "Ha! You are cocky and self-assured. I like that."
Yeah, I am. Thanks.
I guess we better just head down there then. See what's over there. There's no one really that seen anything. Yeah, see what's crack-a-lacking. Cool. Let's go. I don't know what this was. Happening now. Do it.
What are you up to, Ben?
I don't really know, Judge. It's weird. Sort of. You know? You don't know.
No, I don't.
Cool. To the orchard.
Well,
Huzzah!
I will show you. I will show you where to go tomorrow. Today we have much to rejoice and to celebrate. Today is a day for cheer. It is not a day to dwell on these things. We will.
Someone's
Well,
gonna get eaten.
Celebrating today. What's
It's like, well, these are the annual, and he says the word again in Orcish that has no translation, but you know that translates to Shark Dive Wrestling.
Shark Dive Wrestling.
Yeah, all of that, I guess.
Yeah, it's like we went all out. We here to try and lift people's spirits a little. Everyone is supposedly having a good time. It is,
Cool.
oh,
I guess. What day is it?
what?
It's a Thursday.
Oh, it's a Thursday.
What time of day
Oh, what time of
is
day?
it now?
It
Yeah.
is mid to late afternoon.
Oh, okay, so we still got time in the day to do stuff. How much coinage does Young Sticks have? Not a lot. I bought a. What armor did I buy before? Because I haven't written it down. It was.
I don't think you bought an armor upgrade because it was expensive.
I think in the end I did. I think I bought like a chain shirt or something. Because that has why my armor class is 15.
Maybe it was the hat
13.
that made you.
No, yes,
faster.
studded leather. 13 plus 2. 15, 17. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, because
I got it. Yeah, I thought I'd given in at one point and just decided to get a chain shirt or something like that, but I never did.
Change that is. Yeah, because there's scale mail, which is 14 with dex, but has disadvantage on stealth, and which is 50 DP, and then it jumps to breastplate at
400 GP. Yes, that's what I'm after.
Yeah, breastplate.
So my AC, I think 18.
18 with the shield, yeah. Provided you get the or the maximum plus 2 dex bonus.
Yep, my dex is 2.
Yeah, because.
So.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, as a paladin, you start with chainmail. So.
You do, but I didn't really.
I think you.
I won't feel it.
Yeah, you chose to start with a slight
Leather.
downgrade, given your.
Affinity to nature.
That's the word I'm looking for. Yes. Yes, I think you started with studded leather.
Yes.
Or leather, I'm not sure.
Cool. So does anyone else need a blacksmith for anything? Or any shops for anything?
I'd
I
like to visit a library.
There we go. There's one thing we can do. 'Cause I
If
don't really
there's a-
want to get in the middle of this like fish festival when we're
say
not all
fish
fish.
festival. Oh,
Orky
we said fish.
fish festival. I feel like that's oversimplifying it a little bit. Shark wrestling, diving, big fish.
I will go to the library with Terry.
Garth will sort of look over you and says, if that's what you want to do, I will assign you a guide, but it is a day of celebration and jubilation. Take part, enjoy the merriment, enjoy the food, the games. Pit
I'll
yourself
dunk my
against
head
the-
in the sea later.
There we
Sorry, Ben, you can't.
Oh yeah. Anyway. There are games now, are there? Other than this diving shark thing.
Ah, yes.
Time
Well,
to...
So I was told by our friend
people
join
get,
in with
people get into the spirit of things. They wrestle, they fight, they challenge each other to competitions.
Also, no squishy owl bears or squishy squids.
No, they haven't quite got that sort of type thing.
Library?
library. And then we'll celebrate.
Very well. So, Everard, I know you're listening in. Sticks his head around the corner. Sorry, boss. As part of your punishment, you can escort these guests around. They wish to check out the library.
Yeah.
Take them to one of the temples.
We're all about that knowledge. Don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. And
Let's go.
Quite meekly, sort of like gestures for you to like follow on, and starts leading you down down the quayfront to towards quite a. It's a fairly understated building, but it's bigger than the other buildings you can see around. It's not necessarily taller. It maybe stands a couple of feet taller, but it's much. It's a it's a single room. It's a low building, but it's much longer and wider than any of these houses or shops and anything else around. And he leads you inside. This is one of the temples, which will have most of the books and the knowledge. What is it you are looking to research? What do you want to
I was hoping to find some ancient history, specifically any like major wars that you've had in this country, which I now realise I don't know the name of.
Kavran.
I never asked, she just got on the boat. It's just dawned on her, she never asked anyone where she was. If you've got anything, any major wars that have happened here.
The priest will know. The priest will know more about that. And leads you inside. Inside it is a very nice building. There's a lot of windows and things down the sides, and a few like flaps in the roof have been propped open, and things. It's also internally there aren't any huge like light sources, so it's a little bit dark with the light only coming in and the close buildings around it, but it's light enough for you to see by. Surrounding the edge are lots of paintings on the wood of the building itself, it looks like, depicting various figures in and around boats or just straight in the sea themselves. All except one. There is a small section off to one side that depicts an old orc, diminished by age, just on the land itself, and you can see him stand. There's one particularly prominent picture of him. There's several of him sort of scattered around of him, sort of just sitting by campfires and things like that. But there's one quite striking one where he's standing sort of calf deep in the water in this like steel grey sea spreading out before him. It's depicted from behind, and there's just this very far in the distance of the picture. You can see this single white sail appearing, just on the edge of the horizon. As this figure looks out, watching the open ocean. But yeah, while you're maybe glancing around, looking at these, noticing the decorations and what have you, a priest emerges, or a priestess really, emerges, and she walks up to you. She seems quite young. You get the sense she's late teens, early 20s, so maybe not a priestess, maybe more of an acolyte, but I'm not entirely sure. She wanders over, like sort of a little, kind of like addresses you. You get a little bit sulky. You get the slight air of, what can I do for you?
Hi.
And Everard sort of chimes in, like, they are here to look at the library. Garth has given me the job of escorting them around. It's like, okay, well, Phil, if you want to see the books, then come on. Leads you back to a section that's like closed off by a sort of a corner that's like closed off by some curtains, and in the back are just two quite large bookshelves. One of them is stacked with a number of books that look relatively old. A few of them, the leather of the covers is peeling, and then the other shelf is stacked with scrolls and stuff. So what are you looking for?
Anything on ancient history?
Try those ones, and she sort of like gestures to one of the bottom shelves, and then as she like does so, there's this like big roar you can hear from the crowd, and she like looks up and like looks wistfully almost towards the door. So yeah, if you wish to peruse the books, Chloe, make an investigation check.
While Clary is doing that, I might make conversation with the girl.
Okay. So while Clary is looking through the books, we'll come back to that lovely 21 in a moment. What do you want to say, Arwen?
You're right. You look like you don't want to be here.
Well, no one wants to be inside on a day like today, but I drew the short straw. I want to be out there, and you can see she's like kind of like almost absentmindedly like tugs on a necklace around her neck that has just a single tooth on it. You can see.
You want to do the shark diving wrestling?
Sort of looks at you a little bit confused. It's like, oh yeah, I want to do it, and then says the name in Orcish.
What if you went and did it now, and like we'll protect this place while you're just under the sea. Under the sea.
Sort of like shakes her head. No, even if I could, they would know I left.
How would they know?
They would see me.
Well, go in disguise. Go in disguise. Anyone got a disguise kit?
No, we are just looking through.
I have a disguised self, so I could disguise myself as you and remain here, and you can just try and sneak out without anyone seeing you.
Well, I am the only one here. It's not a case of sneaking out. I can just leave, but if I go take part, then on any other day I could go and dive for teeth, if I wanted. But on a day like today, it is part of the spectacle. Everyone is, announced, and everyone gets involved in your success or your lack of. The one thing you have picked up on in the time you're here, there does seem to be like a series of, it's, like you get almost like a list of a few names, and then a bunch of like Orcish about people, and then there's like a big like cheer, and like you get the sense that it's like going in like rounds, as they're like, because obviously if they threw everyone in the water at once, there'd be too many people, so like people are like, and Everard will like sort of tell you, it's not really possible to, on a day like today, to go undetected. With everything's going on, and they make it a special occasion for those diving for the first time. It's I believe those dives are actually happening later. You have the several rounds of young'uns going for their first teeth.
Well, if you did want to sneak out, let me know.
He sort of like give you like a weak smile, so thanks, but I don't see how it's possible.
Okay.
It's not the sneaking, it's the diving. Can't really do that today without everyone knowing.
They're not someone that can see you for a bit?
No, I drew the short straw. Everyone else is out. Next year I will be, well, if I'm still here. Next year
Why wouldn't you be here?
I will guarantee it not be me, because I drew a short straw this year.
Wait, why won't you be here next year?
It's so boring. Just stay here, see if anyone comes in, speak to the gods. Do they ever speak back? Do they fuck? I might as well be talking into my shoe for all the attention they seem to pay.
I like this girl. What's her name?
Rosalie.
One for the book.
Anyway, going back to Clary's investigation. This is not an extensive library. This is 2 large bookshelves. However, you do manage to pick up a little bit. There's not anything on great walls, but you do pick up on there's no information on large-scale military conflicts, but you do get, it's actually quite a dry tone. At first you don't think it's going to be that relevant, but you start flicking through and quickly skimming the pages, and it turns out it's more of a record of councils, and what you learn is about the nature of Kavran's ruling body, and that a council is in charge of everything, and the council consists, now let me get this right, of 2 members of each race, with a high councillor presiding over them all. Each term, the council moves from city to city, spending 5 years within the borders of a singular race. Currently, as would be general knowledge, so Styx and Arwen would know this and be able to tell you, the council resides with the elves. And the High Councillor is always a member of the race where the council resides.
Okay.
With that, and the added pressure of living in a foreign city surrounded by members of that race, tends to mean that the council's decisions generally sway in favour of the race where it resides for those 5 years. It then moves, the balance of power shifts, and things. So what you find is actually a number of records of these council meetings that describe it's from the Orcish perspective, describe a conflict with the elves, and a few with others. It's a very old, you're not quite sure how something like this, probably it's something that someone's gone and just like stuck on a shelf, or maybe it was like part of a set that has been lost, and this is the only like record remaining. But you find out that long ago there were a series of, when things were being established and set up, skirmishes and border disputes and things like that, which occasionally came to armed blows, with the elves and to the west. Sorry, my compass directions are terrible. With the elves to the west, and what they see as their land and things like that, as well as the humans more to the south, and claiming various parts. And there's also a little bit on disputes between the city of Greninvik, which is the partner to the city Greninvik, which, if I just throw you over to the map real quick, although it's not great quality, you are in the city of Greninvik here, and Greninvik is this other one that sits on the opposite side of the bay. They're like twin cities, and this has had a number of disputes with gnomes and halflings who reside in this area of Kavran in significant numbers.
Neo's a...
Yeah, Neo's a tiefling.
Is there any information in the book about like the last time the power resided with the tieflings? When they were in their area?
Point.
There is not, in fact. The tieflings don't seem to factor into the rolling cycle. They do not seem to have a term within their borders.
Are they still a part of the council?
They are a part of the council, and their representatives are the ones that change most frequently, but it doesn't explain whether it's a choice or not, or for whatever reason, but yeah. One thing that potentially Arwen and Styx could tell you a little bit more about. Tieflings themselves are a very nomadic people. They reside mostly within the confines of the Baranrab Desert, but they do from time to time, groups of them make their way out for various trade reasons, to explore, that sort of thing. But yeah, they don't hold a residing term within their borders.
Okay. That's okay. There's something else I was going to ask, but I've forgotten that.
That's alright. If it's important, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Alright. I'd like it known this entire time with my toy owl bear. And just my hat. And then putting the hat on the owl bear. Thinking that's very funny.
I mean, the hat just swamps the owl.
Found an actual plush owl bear. Pardon, sorry?
Sorry, you cut out for me as well. I was going to say the hat absolutely swamps this owl bear.
Oh, of course, that's part of the reason why it's funny. So a guy, intelligence of 10.
Hey, that's an average intelligence. Doing
This
better
is
than
average
Neo
intelligence.
with his -1.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, but he's lost his memory. He has a reason.
I can see why he would have a -1. He did lose a lot of his life memory stuff. Yeah. Cool. What time of day would it be about now?
It would be sort of early evening time. The sun is starting to dip. The weather was not the sunniest of days, but it was, decent. It wasn't raining or anything like that. The clouds were bright and white and things like that. So there's a good amount of light left. You can still hear outside. There is very much a large amount of celebration still going on.
Okay. I wonder if that'll reach there to there. Probably not. I'll sort that out in a minute. Yeah. Okay. Well, was there anything else anyone wanted to do, or we could go and see about some of these festival games or festival goings-ons, I guess?
Really quick before we leave the library, can I ask Rosalie, If she's got any books on languages.
Yeah, just make another investigation check for me. 20. What are you looking for in terms of? Are you looking for like a dictionary or?
No, like, you know, when you're like in primary school and you have those really easy word books for children. I want one of those for goblins. Yeah. Or like the ones where you fill in the little.
Okay, so pretty much everything here is going to be in relation to Orcish.
No.
For the most part, there's a little bit on the. You can find stuff on the other sort of, I guess, prime races, you could say, like elves, humans, those sorts of things that they deal with mostly, but this is a very small collection of books. So you have found a number of books pertaining to languages, but nothing on Goblin, I'm afraid.
No. The search continues.
I will teach you Goblin.
Oh,
it'll be great.
Dear Lord.
Homework. It'll be great.
Thanks.
I will teach everyone Goblin. It'll take a damn long time. I will teach everybody Goblin. Goblin class with sticks.
Yes!
I'm gonna need a hat.
Oh god.
Need a professor hat. Oh, that'd be cute.
Professor Sticks, I'll do anything to pass your class. Except your dumb hat. Okay. So, is that everything that...
You've got armor, then you can pass my class. Oh, look at that. You're proficient in Goblin. Gobble gobble.
Yeah, that's all I was wanting to look for.
No, something like that you would have to find a more metropolitan city and the library there. The orcs, it seems like, especially this far east, don't seem to, even though you are in what is technically a city, it is not like any other city you've been to, and they don't seem to keep records and knowledge in the same way here as you would expect.
Okay,
it's
cool.
a very rural, word of mouth, you learn by doing type part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I teach my sons to fish because I was a fisherman and so on.
Cool. Let's get down and have a look around.
Yeah.
Look around at this festival for a bit. Get some rest. Tomorrow we're hunting something. God. This is an orc town. I'm sure there's plenty of places to sleep and plenty of taverns.
Yeah, you can definitely find somewhere to hang your hat, an inn and so forth.
Everett, can we stay on your floor, please? For free.
I mean, I guess, but you'd probably be more comfortable, in a bed.
Yeah, but that costs money.
Well, yes. Seems a little bit like put up on, like doesn't really feel like he can say no, but at the same time doesn't. You get the vibe it doesn't really want you sleeping on his floor.
Oh. Right, let's find a place.
So you're looking for an inn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Look for inn.
Yeah. You can quite easily, just sort of walking the waterfront. It's very easy to find stuff in this because all you have to do is just sort of walk up and down the coast for long enough until you come across what you're looking for. You don't have to go searching through streets or anything like that and getting lost. So yeah, you're able to find, a number of inns. They're all fairly lowish quality. Again, this is a fairly sort of base part of the world. They don't have a huge amount of industrial trade and things like that. It's not quite the trade hub like Denderport is and things like that. With its river travel to various other parts of Kavran and things like that. You can find rooms for a handful of coppers a night. If you all want your own room, you can stretch as sort of 6 copper a night for your own room, or you can get some rooms together.
Bloody cheap, 6 copper a night.
Mm-hmm.
I will take that.
Anyone want to share? I'm cheap.
Arwen is really pinching those pennies.
Neo, who want to share?
Make a persuasion check. Go on then. See if you can convince Neo to share with you.
Neo, this is for your memory. I'm saving up. Boy, share the room with me.
Or is it flirting? There is a
No. It's definitely not flirting.
I'm just saying, convincing him to share a room with you sounds a lot. Just sounds.
Yeah, Neo says he'll share a room with you.
Good. 2 separate beds, obviously.
He does say if there's only one bed, you're sleeping on the floor.
I have 2 small animals to take care of. I am a mother.
One of them is a mouse.
Shut up.
I'm sure he can just sleep on you.
Yes, but one of them is a dragon who's very demanding. Anyway.
You do find a room. It's for 2. It does run you slightly more. 7 copper for the double room.
7 divided by 2 is 3.5. 3.5.
Yeah. One of you're gonna have to pay 4 because you can't break copper into halves.
Neo, you can pay 4.
I mean, he did only roll a 6 against your 15, so.
I just tell him it's 4 each.
Oh, that's low.
No, we're best friends. It's fine. It's just friendly banter.
It's just banter.
This is all going to his memory. I'm saving him money.
Or we're causing him loads of problems. Maybe he doesn't want his memory back. Have we ever asked him that?
I think we did. Once. Or twice.
I'm sure we probably did. But,
We must have.
for clarification, Neo, do you actually want your memories back, or are we just going on some wild goose chase here?
Well, yeah, I think so, but I don't know. I've been
He
thinking
doesn't
about it
remember.
as well. True. What if did something bad? What if there's a reason that I was where I was?
Then that will be fun to work out. But also, my Hugo was down there too, and he's not bad, so it's fine.
Where did you guys actually find me?
In a hole, because Sticks fell in a hole like an idiot.
Basically, I think we explained this before, but just to recap, we were walking. We were hunting a deer, like some kind of white deer, and then all of a sudden we.
White heart.
Yeah, that was it. And then we fell a hole, like a big sinkhole, into this big crypt. And there was Neo. There was also some creepy undead thing that friggin' tanked like 50, like 60 damage in a round.
Was Neo like unconscious or just like chilling out in this hole?
He was like unconscious. We had to like wake him up. Because, I think he was like nude or something, and then his armor, big box. Well, he had his armor in his big chest. So
there was also loads of statues of other races as well.
Yeah,
and that's where I found the rock egg.
Between these pillars, and they were of all these different races, and the tiefling one was missing, but Neo was there. So I think it's fairly safe to assume where that went. Da-da! Found it.
Where like in Kavran was this? Like whose territory was it? Do you know?
Yes. In that bit. You need a map.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if we had the map.
It was like here. Oh god, I'm not on the right thing. Like here-ish somewhere.
Oh yeah, over there. Yeah, and then because
okay, that way a bit.
Here.
It was this sort of area.
Very, very central.
Do you know what race sort of whose land that belongs to? Who the land belongs to?
We never thought to ask.
That bit of land is slightly ambiguous.
Because that bit is...
Because the forest is elvish.
Elves.
And then the East Plains are very open to debate. You get quite a few humans in the East Plains, especially with the city of Denderport in the east. But also it's not a million miles away from the mountains where the dwarfs reside. And it's also not a million miles away from the desert where you'd find the majority of the tieflings and things. So the elves would probably have the strongest claim to it. They would be, and the elves themselves are very territorial, so they would be most likely to claim that and ardently defend it as their own. Whereas the tieflings probably wouldn't be that bothered. It's kind of outside the desert, and they don't tend to get involved in that much. I mean, as I say, you get travelers and traders and things, so you will occasionally see a few of them about. But yeah, the humans do have a number of villages in the East Plains, smaller and larger, and as you go up and down the river, and the dwarves might try and lay claim to that, but probably wouldn't, as it lies outside the mountains proper. So yeah, mainly a dispute between humans and elves.
I'm real. Why did we never think to just go ask the tieflings if they knew anything about the thingy?
Wondering this.
Because that would have made that sense to me. I mean, to be fair, Neo needs his memory back at some point, because obviously he knew why he was down there and what happened, maybe. Or something about his dad, because obviously it's his dad, and his dad's apparently an evil bastard.
Wait, what do we know about Neo's dad?
Neo's dad...
Dude.
Yeah, so he was like, he was a big dad. Who what was it? He was like the leader of the tieflings or something. And
wait, he got his powers from a hell lady? Apparently he got his powers from a hell lady.
I have no exact bag in Chantal's Nats.
You got what?
Okay, that's after you later. Okay. Does anyone know? I'm assuming this is something you guys might know. If what the territories are like now, is that what it's always been like, or have they changed over like decades? And
History check. See?
Yeah, you can make a history check.
I know. That's
also, another piece of information. Neo's old group used to be called the Protectors. I forgot about that, but it's in my book.
Okay, so 13. So, you know that they're a little bit in flux. Certainly the elves are very territorial over the forest. They don't like anyone else coming into the forest. And in recent years they have become so protective of their own capital city that they refused to allow the council to stay there, and instead had them stay at a border city, which would be this one down here, which I will tell you on my copy of the good map is called Yelion.
Yelion, right?
Yelion. Because they did not wish. That's only something you'd know because you guys grew up there. Is that you grew up in the forest? Is that normally the council would have come to Themyscira, but when it was their turn, they in fact got sent to Yelion instead because it's right on the border.
Cool. Okay.
Thus ends the impromptu history lesson. I did not think I was going to have to try and remember it today. Do you find those sessions, Ben, like something will happen, you'll be like, oh, well, you know, and then now it's like, oh, now I need to go into the deep lore I prepared 6 months ago and have forgotten.
Well, obviously, when I made my D&D world, it was like the first time a lot of us played D&D, and the first time I DM'd, and I didn't want to spend like weeks and weeks planning and making this world. So I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I made a lot of the history of Amp up after the first campaign in that 2 bit where there was nothing on, because I was suddenly just like, oh, this is going a lot bigger than I thought.
I should write lore
about the world. I should probably figure out a lot of the stuff, like all the gods and stuff, because up until that point I'd come up with like 4 of them.
Yes. I was like, Ben, can I have this god? And you're like, yeah, okay.
Pretty. Yeah, I remember you being like, "Oh yeah, can I have Apollo?" And I was like, "I'm assuming that's in the DMG." So yeah, sure, why not? I'm assuming you pulled Apollo from somewhere. I know it's an actual god of like mythology, and obviously I've taken a couple of the gods from my one from like popular mythology. So I was like, "Go fuck it, why not?"
I remembered my question I was going to ask earlier.
Excellent.
When I was reading through the books, was there anything that maybe that said? Because you're saying like with the tiefling horns, how long ago it was that they were like curved like Neo's?
No,
that
wouldn't have been in the information in that small set of books.
Okay.
However, if one of your companions wants to make an intelligence check, they were told this information.
Oh, haha, haha. Oh. Sticks forgot. And so did Ben. It's been a long ass month.
Wait, what?
It's been one hell of a month. Moving house is stressful.
Moving house, jobs,
Yeah.
everything. Been a long month.
What
I
was
guess
the
we'll never.
question?
When did
About
the
the
tiefling's horns change? When did the tiefling's horns change?
How come I wrote down everything except that?
Neo, you must have been there when we found out.
Nah.
Yeah.
You remember, right?
I will make a check because you both made checks.
That is fair.
He rolled an 8. -1.
You guys are very smart.
It's a lot of traveling.
It's late. Yeah, we've
It's
walked
late.
a lot. Like,
Yeah, that's more of a. The check is there to just because and I'll remind you rather than your character is like physically trying to, remember.
I see. Anyway, so we're in a tavern. We're in an inn.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sleeping? Are we calling it a day there and heading out the next? Or are we having a look around this whole festival thingy, or what do people want to do?
what sort of time is it? Did you say?
It is early evening time. So there is still time for you. The sun is starting to set now. The sky is darkening. Outside, you can see that every boat is beginning to light lanterns and things like that. And so there are hundreds and hundreds of these lights being reflected in the water. And if you were to go outside now, it is approaching the end of the day, but there's still a significant. It's that time of day where, like car automatic headlights come on, and you're like, it's not dark enough to need those, but it's at 6 p.m. time, and the light's just dimming, and the car's gone. Oh, it's dark, and you're like, it's not dark. It's like that. People are like starting to light lanterns and stuff. And if you head outside now, there is this big cheer, like one of the loudest cheers, and you can see like arrayed on a boat out by the main stand is a collection of sort of 8 to 10 very young, like mid-teen looking orcs. A handful of boys and girls just stood there, and Garth is back doing the announcements, doing the commentating again, and he runs through like a series of names, and each one is sort of like self-consciously like. There's a couple that are like quite like they're like posturing, and they're like you can see there's a couple that are like quite nervous, and there's a couple that are like more quietly confident. There's a couple that are like out and out arrogant, like I fucking got this. Gonna bring myself back a whole fucking shark, and so on. And now you can see people up close. You can see one thing that they've got is they've all got this like a singular knife strapped. Like some of them have got it like strapped to their holster, strapped to their forearm. Some of them have got it like strapped to their thigh or their calf. But it seems to be the only thing, the only like weapon that they've got. And if you were to examine them up close, you would see that they are all bone. There's no steel in any of these knives or anything like that.
Shit. Damn. That is. Oof. Like what? Can I see what animal the bone is made of? I'm assuming shark.
I
or
don't
something.
think sharks have bones. I think
What?
sharks are like a weird amalgamation of like fleshy muscle and cartilage. Do sharks?
I know sharks have bones in their face.
Sharks do
I
not.
mean, goldfish
according to
have
Google,
frickin'
sharks
bones.
do not have bones. They are a special type of fish known
That
as
is. Oh.
elasmobranches, which translates into fish made of cartilaginous tissue. So sharks do not have bones, yes.
Huh.
So if you were to know this, then you would assume whale or something like that. Yeah, something of significant size to have large enough bones to carve a weapon from.
I see.
But yeah, you would get
Cool.
some
Alright.
sort of sea creature. But yeah, and as you watch,
Yeah.
you
Jesus.
there's this like final word from Garth and this big roar from the crowd, and this little boat like sets out, and
A new
yeah.
challenger.
Yeah, and there's this like big like bell is rung, and they duck. You know, these 8 to 10 people like dive off the sides. Yeah. You watch the water for a few minutes, and there's a large quantity of bubbles and things like that rising. And after a handful of minutes, 1 or 2 start popping up. A couple of them unscathed, some of them with serious injuries. But they've got like healers on the boat and stuff like that, so they're just like checking them over. Quite late, a couple of people pop up. And everyone out of the water is like quite. It's like they're all like they've got this like small thing in their hands. They've clearly got their tooth, and they're like comparing it. And then one lad comes up at the end, and he just, doesn't even get back on the boat. He just slowly sort of just starts like swimming despondently back to shore. And gets into the shallows and just like climbs out and just sort of like staggers up. You can see he's got like a few small like cuts on him. He's relatively unscathed, but he's bleeding in a couple of places, and just like not talking to anyone. Head is like properly like hung low, and like shoves his way like through the crowd and disappears between the buildings.
All right. I mean, does he look like he won? Like he got many teeth? I'm assuming not.
No, you would be make an insight check.
Where the fuck is insight coming up? Oh, rolled 7 first. Got that.
Even with a 7, you could probably assume he didn't win. Like the others are celebrating, he's not. That's about what you'll get from that with a 7.
I'd like to roll above a 12 one of these days, but
You got a 13 on history.
oh, great, 13! Wow,
The dizzy
neck
heights.
breaking and
Yeah, I'm scrolling back through, and you have not had a good night for rolls.
I have not had a good night of rolls. The highest thing I rolled was a 19, but I got a +7 to hit. So that's still only a 12.
Yeah, it's not bad. That is a rough set roll.
No.
Looking back on it.
Oh well. So obviously, with us being not orc, is there any other games or activities we can do in and around the area in this
Yeah.
festivity?
If you there's no like organized stuff per se. It just seems you kind of get the impression that these things are sort of born of revelry.
Yeah.
So if you know, and it's sort of like watching maybe for a while. If you will make an investigation check for me.
Okay. God damn it! Come on!
Okay, so between a 19, a 21, and a 16 minus 1, you can probably find you can find a group, and sort of as you're sort of walking through the crowd, looking, exploring the various stalls and things like that. There's people selling like jewelry and various foodstuffs and those sorts of things. You manage to get yourself close to a group, and you catch sort of the beginning and end of it almost at the same time, where it's like you get a little bit of conversation, and this one's actually in common. There is a little bit of common going around, and the gist of it is effectively one drunk person challenging another drunk person to a wrestling match. And you see the two of them move away from the group a little bit and square off. One of them walks around and drags his heel through the dirt, and you can see just drags a line in the ground, in the sand, to make a rough ring. And they both sort of roll their shoulders and throw a couple of dummy punches and what have you, and crouch down, and then someone claps their hands and shouts "go," and they dive at each other and start grappling, and then after a few seconds of tussling back and forwards, one of them wraps his arms over the top of the other one and grabs him by the waist and manages to toss him off his balance and shove him, and he stumbles and falls out of this sand ring. And there's a big sort of "hey" from the few people who had broken up away to watch. And one person turns around and just, clearly points and challenges another one, and just and it's start off whatever. So he challenges someone. You can see challenges someone else. He's yeah, and there's a big cheer goes on as sort of group of 10 or 12 is they get another bout. A few more of them break off and draw another sand ring, and two of them go at it. So if you wanted to challenge, it seems to work on challenges and stuff like that. They're all
okay.
And after the one of them got tossed out of the ring, you can see that the other one goes over and helps him up, and they put an arm around each other, and they're joking and stuff, and they grab drinks and stuff again, and it's all in good spirits.
I'll give him a cheeky challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find an orc to challenge.
Is there any betting going on?
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be.
Oh.
But it doesn't mean you couldn't start some.
I don't know how betting
Awesome.
actually works. 5 to 1 to the walk? To that, which one? What does that mean?
I mean, yeah, you could give odds of 5 to 1 on the orc if you wanted.
But you're betting on the orc.
Which would mean that if someone...
Wait, would I have to pay some 5 to 1 on?
Yeah, I don't have a comprehensive understanding of betting, but if you're going to give someone 5 to 1 odds on the orc and they bet on the orc, then you have to pay out 5 times, and the orc wins, you have to pay out 5 times what they bet.
Okay.
So if they put up 8 gold, say, and then the orc won, then you'd have to pay out 5 gold. But if the orc lost, you would just get the 1 gold. Betting in this scenario tends to just be 2 gold on, or 2 silver on this person to win. And the other one's like, no, I reckon that person's going to win. And so then whoever wins, it's a straight. If you want to offer odds, you can.
Yeah.
But you're not going to make any more money, really.
Why?
Well, because
everyone's going to bet on the orc, so they're all going to give me money, but they're all going to lose it because Sticks, you're going to win.
Yes.
So then I'm going to get money.
Yeah. But if you're offering odds of like 5 to 1 on the orc, then you're not going to make more money than if you just bet on Sticks. If you said, I'll put a silver on Sticks, then they'd be like, okay, I'll bet a silver. But if you said, 5 to 1 on the orc, unless you were like 5 to 1 on Sticks, in which...
I think I don't understand how betting works.
Yeah, I don't think you understand how betting works either. So it'd be 5 to 1 on Sticks, and then people would be like, oh no, I want the orc to win. So then so you'd all put in some money. No.
Doesn't that mean they would just get like what they bet back? It's just a positive.
Oh, do they? I thought I'd just keep it.
No.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really understand betting.
But should we just say you bet on a person, and if you win, you get double that? Unless...
What if I just steal everyone's money?
Bets, then we're gonna lose money if...
No, because we're just going to go up to people and say, hey, who do you think will win? I think that person will win.
Yeah, it's just
What do you say?
do it like that. It'll be
Money
like,
on.
I bet a silver on Sticks. If Sticks wins, they give you a silver. If Sticks loses, you give them a silver. And then it's nice and simple and I can understand it.
Okay.
Yeah.
with multiple people.
Or you could just say like, okay, everybody. No, I guess you do one bet with one person. Or we could put in like one large bet.
I mean,
Like,
you could
say,
do
like-
one bet, like, I put a silver on Sticks to win, and then you could have like 8 people be like, not a chance. Or something.
Yeah, what if we just have a big pool of... So you put in however much, like, if everyone just put in 1 gold or 1 silver to bet on someone, 2 teams kind of thing. So then if Sticks won, everyone that bet for Sticks, we evenly split the money.
That's kind of what I was trying to say, except I don't understand how betting works. I was
So if we're not doing like the odds on, then they just get...
Yeah.
It's not how much you'll get back, it depends on how many people bet, but as long as we say it's just 1 silver, no more, no less, because then it gets confusing.
Yeah.
Or 1 gold, because then 1 gold's like even. Then we're not. Then if
1
it's
gold?
like, because 1 gold.
1 gold's quite a lot for most common people.
Oh, okay, yeah, 1 silver, fine.
And then we
1
just
silver.
evenly split the silver.
Yeah, okay, fine. So I'm gonna stand up.
All we need to know then is how many people bet on.
Who was the guy that just won, or who looks
oh,
like
Lord.
Alan?
Yeah, you can challenge them if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna just walk up to the guy who just won. And I'm gonna say, hey buddy, Hello. You've gathered quite a crowd here. You've pleased the crowd somewhat, but that looked pretty easy. Not really fighting material. How about how do you fancy a real fight? you can tell I challenge people to fights often.
He just sort of like looks around and like a couple of his mates are like, what? And then because orcs are generally a big race. Like most people here are taller than all of you, especially the adults, and most of them are quite broad and muscular. And so they look around and it's like, well, I can't back down from this challenge from this puny human. He's like, ha! You think you can beat me?
Well,
do you even?
I think I can give it a damn try.
Do you even know how to wrestle?
Yes, he wrestles with squirrels.
Love it. I like to think I'm pretty good at wrestling. Do you want my armor on, off?
It does not matter. We do not.
Anything like that, make it.
And
Excellent.
basically,
All
someone will give you a quick rundown that the rules are: you start separated, and then you engage, and you're not supposed to separate until someone exits the ring. Basically, it's a bit like sumo wrestling, but it's like you can pick people up. If you can like throw them, then fine, that sort of thing. And the way we're going to run it is a series of contested strength checks, so that you'll grapple, and then it'll be first to 3 to effectively push the other person out of the ring.
I see. Okay. Cool. I'll see you in the ring then, buddy. I'll walk over to my side of the ring or whatever it is, and I will cast Bless on myself.
Okay.
To have that for up to a minute. Do a very sneaky like, so no one can sort of see me doing it.
Okay. Make
Body
a
strike.
sleight of hand check. Just to.
Somatic and material. Sleight of hand. Come on, good rolls. Yeah.
Okay. Like you're going to be able to do it regardless. It was just going to affect the number of people that bet. So having been able to like stealthily like cast this spell on yourself, no one is any the wiser. So so most people will not realize and will favor the orc. Arwen and or Clary, you want to entice some betting.
Yeah.
How do you go about drumming up competitive business, getting people to bet, but also persuading them that,
Clary is going to kind of walk around sneakily and just comment as if she's talking to someone about how big and scary that orc looks, and how puny that man looks.
Okay.
Oh, I'll go with you and be like, he's gonna get mashed.
Okay. But if you're both doing that,
Oh my gosh, that.
who's like?
Oh
you're
no,
both
I'll
like,
take the bet.
The human is so weak. You want to bet on the? I'm going to bet on the human. Then it's a little bit.
I'll take the bets. Neo can go with you.
Okay. Yeah, Neo's got good charisma.
And
What's that?
pretend. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take bets.
What's your charisma, Abby? Because mine's
What's mine?
minus 1. Maybe you should do this.
What am I looking for?
Your charisma. What's your charisma?
Oh, 0.
Okay.
Mine's -1.
Neo has a +3. So
Okay.
if you aid, Neo will
Okay.
do
Is
the
that the
roll.
plan?
And it is I'll make it a persuasion roll, and based on how well he does, will determine the number of people.
How much? Okay.
That's a 22 on the persuasion roll.
Ooh.
Oh,
So you have managed to entice 12 people to bet against sticks.
oh boy.
Bad. Otherwise, I can see the rest of this evening going very awkwardly.
So there is 12 whole silver riding on their sticks.
Well,
Oh shit!
plus Neo's, Clary's, and mine, right?
No, so what you've done is you've managed to entice 12 people to bet on the orc that Styx is going to wrestle. If the orc wins, you have to pay a silver to each of those 12 people.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were just then splitting all the money that had been put in the pot.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, I was so confused.
If they all put in a silver, and you all put in a silver, it doesn't work so well in favour for them, you see?
Yeah, but if they're so confident that they're going to win, they're not going to lose anything, technically.
But then why would they bet if they're not going to...
It's more that it amounts to you've enticed... You get those individual bets. Like, you guys can pay out of a pool, so you can all pay, 3 each. But yeah, it's like... you're going through the crowd and, Neo and Clary are, doing the talk and stuff. And then Arwen's sort of, coming along and it's like, so what do you reckon? And so on. It's like, I'm going to bet on... I reckon that guy, and because of how well Neo and Clary have done this talk, when they're going through, the orcs you're going up to, you manage to entice 12 people to like, nah, there's no way that Styx can win. I'm a bet on Orky Dave.
Okay. Orky Dave. Jesus Christ.
Orky Brad.
Oh no.
But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I may have done the wrong one. It's wrestling, so it's grappling, right? Which is an ability. Then while the girls are doing all of that, I'm going to end my bless on myself.
Yes.
I'm going to cast guidance on myself instead.
Okay.
Which has now just wasted a spell slot. But
what's the chances you're going to have something happen significantly before you go to bed?
Very high.
oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Because I'm about to wrestle an orc, and who knows?
Okay. Well, let's get down to it.
Let's get down to brass tacks.
A ring. All this has happened very quickly. A ring has been drawn in the sand. Neo and Clary have made a loop and sort of riled the crowd up. Arwen's gone around and sort of, I guess there's kind of that half-elf link there. You're like, yeah, the half-elf has got this. We're big and strong and so on. And people are like looking at you and going, no, because elves are very live and compact figures. And yeah, this ring, someone goes around, drags this ring in the sand, and the two of you square up. You and Orky Dave square up. Yeah. The two of you,
So it's
pause for a second and then charge at each other, wrap your arms around. So it's a contested strength check.
Is it just strength or strength athletics?
It's just strength.
Just strength.
It is an ability
clicked
check
it.
still.
It is.
What does your spell do?
Means I can add that.
17.
He's totally beat it, hasn't he?
So you come together, and it almost seems like he wasn't prepared for how quickly Styx has come at him. And Styx, you wrap your arms around him, and you get that initial shove, and you get like underneath him a little bit. You're a little bit smaller, so rather than coming sort of head on, you're very slightly underneath him. So you're tipping him back a little bit, so he can't bring his full weight to bear against you. And you get him to move a little bit back. Round 1 goes to you.
Alright.
Round 2.
Round 1.
Oh.
Do you get guidance multiple times?
It's for 1 minute. Is it not? Once before the spell ends, the target.
Yeah. You touch one.
Fine. That's still a 22.
Duration says up to 1 minute.
Yeah, so once within that minute.
Oh, I see. Still 22.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, so
I'll take it.
Capitalizing on this strong start, the guidance, allowing you to get in there and get the advantage. You drive this home, and you have him teetering back on the edge of the ring. Advantage well and truly sticks. And he's there, like, you can hear him muttering and growling, and he's, like, trying to, like, grip on, and, like, you can feel him, like, trying to push you back. But at the moment, you've just got the advantage, and you're pushing him back. Roll it again.
Oh, that's pretty good!
Easy. No, Styx, you have barely broken a sweat. This guy is, you think clearly, old mouth. And in a matter of a few seconds, you've come in, and it's like watching, like the two of you have just come together, and he's just gone straight backwards. It's almost like there's no resistance to the spectators, and you like get him up to the edge, and you like shift your hands, and you just shove him, and he just like takes like 2 steps back, and he's out of the ring, and there's this, a little bit of a shocked silence, and then there's just this way. You guys can collect your 12 silver, separate it out between you, whatever you like.
Don't we have a like a communal pot?
I do believe we do have a communal pot.
Yeah, put it in there, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, Neo Fund. It's a 45.
Yeah, that makes it easy. And this.
What was it?
12 silver.
12.
Yeah, and so this this orc like runs into the ring and like slaps an arm around you, and the other one like grabs your wrist and like raises your hand in like celebration. It's like way. This might have been one of the ones that either like didn't bet, or maybe like threw a casual like bet on you. It's just like, oh, this will be funny, and then has actually won and maybe collected some money themselves. They they press like this massive like tankard of like frothing ale on you, like push it into your hands and
I down it.
One themselves.
Down
Okay,
down
you
the
down
entire-
it. Okay, make a Constitution saving throw. I want to see how impressive is this. Oh no! So Styx gives this very impressive display of physical prowess, and then has this strong orcish ale thrust upon him, and he gets like 2 big gulps in, and then he just like coughs, and everyone is just laughing and having a ball and just and just having a great time as you've like you've gone to give it the big one, and maybe it's like overzealous, and you've like like when you drink something too fast and it like goes up your nose or something like that, like filled with confidence, and then you just start coughing, and you can finish.
Gone over my, and then because it's such a big tankard and everything, and I didn't actually realise up until this moment how much like strain that put on my body. So I don't really. So it just has this momentum, and it just goes all over.
It just pours like over your face. Yeah, no, that's
all
fair.
over my nose. So I'm like, so I'm just covered in fish ale.
Fair enough.
It's a.
Everyone's just loving it and having a good time, and you're well invested in the in the festivities at the moment. They have no one seems to have like questioned while you're there. They've just sort of embraced you guys as being there as part of the celebration.
We are now a part of the tribe.
Woo!
Yep. But I think that is a good spot to leave it for now.
Sounds good.
We will pick this up next week with potentially some more revels and things like that, if you want to do that. And then we will go from there.
Sounds good.
Until next week, which will hopefully be next week and not 3 weeks like the last one was. Fingers crossed, touch wood, all that fun stuff. But until next week.